Lando, you are the world champion. Yes, McLaren is the world constructor champion, but Max Verstappen, you are the 2025 driver of the year. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Around the Circuit, Apollo Media's Formula One podcast. As always, I'm your boy Junior, joined by my boys Mark and Ivan. We are back.
Finally.
It's been a couple weeks. Had to process the end of the season, the last race, everything that happened. I'm sure y'all seen. We weren't the happiest as personal fans, but as F1 fans as a whole, I mean, it was a good season.
Yeah.
Especially the second half. It provided a little excitement, provided a little heartbreak, provided a little of everything. But the season is over. The 2025 season has come to an end. Everything is looking towards 2026 now. We said goodbye to the Sauber Green. We said goodbye to Yuki for now from the grid. That's about it.
As of now.
We said goodbye to Helmut Marko at Red Bull.
Yep.
Don't let there was a lot that kind of like spilled out over the last couple weeks after the season. The award show happened. They handed out the awards. They handed out Zach's comedy show, I guess we could say.
Pretty funny.
Whatever it was.
Years of trauma for Oscar Piastri, probably.
Yeah. But it is. The season came and went. It was a fun season. Y'all followed along with us this whole time. Doing this was added to the excitement of the season, in my opinion. Gave us something to do. Gave us an out to talk with y'all on TikTok, Instagram, all that. YouTube. It's been fun.
Yes.
I can only wait. 2026 is going to be huge. We got a couple more things we're planning on doing content-wise going into the next year, into this next season. So stand by for that. Just want to give y'all a heads up. We will be moving to a new YouTube channel. This logistics are still being figured out here within Apollo, but Around the Circuit will be getting a new YouTube channel, and we will be pushing that out when it does happen over the next month or so, right before we get into early season testing and the livery launches. We'll be pushing that information out. So stay tuned. Make sure you're following us on all of our socials. The link tree will be in the description. So click that link, follow us everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. The new YouTube channel will be posted. Follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts too, because we're everywhere.
Yep.
Wherever you want to listen, wherever you want to watch, we're there. And then just shout out y'all for following along. It's been a fun season. Boys, how are we feeling? We've had a couple weeks off. I want to get y'all's thoughts now that we are coming into we're fully in the winter break. We've had time to process the last race. We've had time to process the championship fight, everything that came with it. Any thoughts?
Yeah, obviously been trying to enjoy the holidays. Obviously hope everybody is watching had a safe and nice holidays. Still got more to come up. But yeah, it's been nice every weekend not having Ferrari let me down. But yeah, no, it's been nice. You know, we've had this break. So obviously I'm excited for 2026. But obviously right now we're going to talk about a little bit more 2025. Get out some awards.
Recap. We're going to do similar to what we did for the mid-season awards. We're going to do that here to recap and close out the 2025 F1 season.
And year.
Yep.
Yeah, and the year. We only got a few days before the new year.
And for me, I would say this season as a whole sent on an emotional roller coaster. Like we said, we've never done the show obviously before. It got us to feel a little bit like the teams and crews do, where it's like, and these triple headers are a little more difficult than we thought they would be.
Gives us something to look forward to.
Exactly. Yeah. Little things like that. And I mean, for me, obviously everybody knows the struggles of my team, but at the same time, as a person that was a proud card-carrying member of the Max Verstappen hate club, he got me to respect him. I have not put away my membership, but the respect has been earned, at least from me. I feel like a lot of fans were like that as in general. I feel like as the
2025, the season Max was loved.
I feel like the season in 2026 is going to be. Man. I feel like that's what the new regs will do too. I feel like they're going to bring in. There are going to be some drivers, Lando, that a lot of people hate that going to have to learn to accept. They're just going to be there now.
Yeah.
So that's the thing where, just like we entered 2022 with like a transition period, 2025 was a great end cap to regulations that was mostly favorable to two teams, but we're still happy that they happened. We got closer racing than any other grid we've ever had, so you can't say anything else. But look forward to the future, and we are happy to be doing our award show here.
Yeah, I mean, the grid's set for 2026. There's already rumors spilling out with the engines. Red Bull and Mercedes seem to have found a loophole.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get more into that, like I said, right before the beginning of the season, as more stuff comes out, because it seems like every day there's something new coming out. Before we get into our awards and talking about who deserved what and what teams deserved who, we got to throw it out there. We got to mention it. We got to say it. For those of you who are tapped into the other podcasts here at Apollo, for those of you who are tapped into the other shows here at Apollo, whether it's Watch the Movies, whether it's the Beyond the Diamond guys, on the grid, Off the Gridiron, all those other podcasts, y'all know we had a fantasy football league going. We were set up in teams. The ATC boys were not respected. They were not.
Nope.
What's the word I'm looking for? They were not watched carefully. We started off slow. We were off to like an 0-4 start. I think we capped off the first half of the season. We were like 2-6.
Yep, 2-6.
But the Around the Circuit boys closed off the season as the Apollo Pretzelized Fantasy Football League champions.
For the first time.
First time world champions.
Yes, sir.
Right here. Your boys Around the Circuit are the champs. So if you are tapped in with those other podcasts, make sure you go in and ask them what happened, especially those football guys. They got beat by some F1 guys, you know?
Exactly.
The championship came down to us and Watch Movies with Apollo, which is insane. The movie guys and the F1 guys were in the fantasy football championship. But hey, we know ball around here just like we know Will. So
exactly.
We are your champs here at Apollo.
Are we going to hold that crown?
Hold that crown
gracefully,
proudly. If there is a trophy, I think they said there's going to be a trophy. We'll have that as soon as we can get it set up.
Every episode.
Yep.
It's going to be sitting right here or right behind us. Hey, we're the champs. We got bragging rights for the next year. Hopefully next year we can hold that title and keep pushing.
Yep.
Yep. Each of us got closer as F1 fans, or further away, I should say, from the F1 title. But we all have one title. At least we can take home for the end of the year.
We're taking home that fantasy football championship. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We are champs for the 2025 Fantasy Football League season. So take that. Go talk shit to the other podcasts. Let them know ATC runs this house for the year, and we're gonna do it again. Yep. So without further ado, we are gonna talk about and recap the season. Give our little awards. We got a little trophy just like we did when we hit mid-season. It was the year of McLaren. We said it episode 1. It looked like the way 2024 closed that McLaren was going to run the table. McLaren was going to dominate. We expected it. It happened. They were the World Constructors Championship. They closed that out in like September.
Yep.
Whatever. It happened. They won. They were dominant. They had the fastest car all year. And then it came down to the last race. Lando Norris won the World Drivers' Championship for 2025 season.
Yep.
Whether we like it or not, whether people think he deserved it or not, whether it was given to him by his team or not, whatever the arguments are, we've seen it all online. We got to say it out there, he went out and earned it. He went out, whether he had bad races or not, he earned it enough to – I mean, he drove enough to earn the points, whether he was swapping positions.
Exactly what was expected from this year, and did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, he did exactly what he needed to do, and he is the 2025 champion. We said it in the last episode. He's one of 35. He is the champion. So, hey, like I said, we tip our cap to him. Yep. He's going to be rocking the number 1 next year. Ew. He's going to be LN1. Max Verstappen will change to the number 3. He won't go back to 33. He has gotten, with Daniel Ricciardo's blessing, permission to run the number 3. He will be MV3 next year. I feel like there's something poetic about him rocking Daniel's old number right after he loses the championship by 2 points, and he's like, whatever, I'm not going back to 33. That's the old me. Especially like Ivan said, like a lot of fans have kind of grown to love Max Verstappen.
I didn't say all that, but yeah.
Maybe not love, but they've grown to respect Max Verstappen as a driver, and they've grown to learn more of who he is as a person off the grid.
Yes.
Off the track. People have kind of grown to see, who he is now. He's not that young kid who's crashing out, attacking people in the garages every season. Yes, we had the incident in Spain, and it'll always be brought up.
It will be brought up again today.
Is what it is. But I think, and I said this last episode, I think Max, especially within the F1 fan base as a whole, grew as a driver, grew as somebody who will go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest ever, depending on how long he sticks around and how many more championships he wins. But Lando won the championship this year. So,
Yep.
I think for Lando and honestly for Max too, kind of like 2022 season. Was it 2023 that he won all the races, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Max.
2023. I feel like that season and this season, you were going to have to go like 3 or 5 years in the future for people to start appreciating those two seasons.
Yeah.
Those two seasons, although completely different, they're such an old school season that I feel like a bunch of fans are going to have to look back on that nostalgically and love them. Max went for just pure domination for a year.
Yeah.
And then also Lando, another way of old school racing, just consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, you look back at like titles like when Niki Lauda and them were racing, they were based off of who was the most consistent, not who was winning most of the races. So,
No, that's true. Yeah.
So that's
I mean,
just
you look at some of those seasons, like you said, they were very short.
Yeah.
And so it came down to who was scoring the most points.
Yep, exactly.
Not necessarily winning, but scoring points consistently.
Yeah, and that's the point. Like, I think that's the thing with Lando, where Max did it a couple years ago when he won his first or second championship. When they start booing and disliking you, you're doing something right in Formula One.
That's true.
They don't just boo and hate everybody else, because honestly, if you're not a threat, they really don't mind you in Formula One.
Yeah.
But it's when the second you become a threat that they start having some concerns with you. So shout out to Lando. Like I said, obviously none of us here on the podcast are not like Lando stans, but at the same time, we can respect him like we respect Max at the same time too.
He is the champion. Like I said, I think too, when you see Max on the podium in places like Imola and the Tifosi are chanting "do Max Verstappen," I think it's a point to like what I was saying, where Max he's reached that next level as a driver, as a future legend on the of the sport, where he's respected. They know what he's capable of. He's proved what he's capable of, and it's not just a dominant car. That being said, like I said, Lando won the championship, and it came out today, Max Verstappen was voted by the team principals as 2025 Driver of the Year.
Yes.
Lando, you are the world champion. Yes, McLaren is the World Constructor Champion, but Max Verstappen, you are the 2025 Driver of the Year. Most skilled, maybe dominant individual driver out there. Like you, and I think there was, at least for me as a Max Verstappen fan, there was no question about it. But it's good to see that even on a year where he doesn't win the championship, he's still seen as that driver.
Yeah, you look at throughout the year. I mean, it's kind of, in my opinion, a no-brainer.
Yeah.
In my honest opinion, I mean, obviously, you look at everything that happened that second half, the way he was able to come back, the race in Brazil again, just the miracles he was able to work in Brazil, and to do it again. Pit lane to podium in P3, it's absolutely absurd. He was obviously all year. I feel like Lando and Oscar had their moments. So did Max, but I feel like Max bounced back earlier and bounced back better than both the McLaren drivers. So, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. Max was definitely by far the best driver this year.
Because of the comeback, yes, I think you have to name Max the Driver of the Year. I know it's kind of weird where you don't have the champion crowned as a Driver of the Year, but to put it into context, same thing happened in NASCAR this year. Kyle Larson won the championship, but I think motorsport.com named Denny Hamlin the Driver of the Year just because of what he did for his consistency. And like same thing with kind of like Denny. Max brought a car that probably should have finished third in the constructor standings and brought it to a team that's going to, be second on there. So shout out to him. Only other person I would say that would be deserving of that award would probably be, I know a lot of people would say Oscar, but probably George Russell. I mean, he stood up this year and said, you know what? I know y'all all have opinions on me, and I am one to talk a lot, but at the same time, I am as good as what Mercedes have been saying I'm good as, and he showed it this year. So I think George deserved a shout. I think he finished fourth in that standings in that race too. So I mean, he got his kudos, but yeah, overall, Max for doing stuff that no other driver on the grid probably could have done.
104 points to 2 points.
Yep. So you have to give the devil his due there. I'll say that.
Yeah. And with that, so like I said, we dubbed Max Driver of the Year, 2025 best driver on the track. Not just us. We're not the only ones saying it. Other people are saying it.
Yeah.
All right, Becky.
The Consistency Award. Glad we picked that up. Ivan, you mentioned it. This says a lot coming from me as the non-George fan that I am. But I think when you look at the Consistency Award, as we would like to call it, or whoever was the most consistent driver this season, I think you got to give that to George Russell.
Yep. If you were going to give that award to any other driver, you would have to give it to George
Russell. Mark, we agree across the board?
Yeah. I mean, it's literally his nickname, Mr. Consistency.
Mr. Consistency. I mean, like I said it time and time again, when something went bad at the front, there he was to collect the podium or even the win at times.
Yeah, Mercedes obviously this year did pretty well as a team.
Yeah.
But George is, like you said, he's always there. He's always doing well enough to be on the podiums, to get a win here and there. Who knows, this next year, if Mercedes is as good as people are predicting it to be, he could put up a good fight in the championship. But he's always been there throughout his career. And, this year was just, again, Mr. Consistency, George Russell. I mean, I don't think there's really any other driver that is as consistent
as him. Yeah. Stone will be happy.
Yes.
Only scored. He scored points in every race.
Come get your award for your driver. Excuse me. But yeah, he was fourth in the championship behind Max and the two rocket ships. Mercedes, he helped get Mercedes to P2 and the constructors. Yeah. I mean,
the only race he didn't score points in was Monaco, where Mercedes pretty much forgot to pit their guys.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's the only race he did not score.
And he completely cut the chicane, went back past Alex and was like, I'll take the penalty.
Right.
Yeah, Monaco wasn't exactly the best race for him, but I mean, like you said, points in every race outside of that.
Yeah.
You can't ask for anything more consistent other than hopefully they get a car where he can win more races to fight for a championship at that point. Talking about consistency and where we're at, I mean, I guess you can't really give the best team award to anyone other than McLaren. I mean, that's the dominant season they had. That car, you shout out the engineers, you shout out. Yes, they made weird calls when it came to strategy and swapping cars and slow pit stops, but they dominated the season. However, every team is led by a principal. Every team is led by one person who either makes the right calls or makes the wrong calls when it comes to drivers, when it comes to everything that happens throughout the season. There's one guy that leads that team. That's a team principal. I know who I have as my team principal of the year, but I want to hear who you guys have first.
I think we might have the same guy.
We probably do.
I got two guys as well.
And it pushes my agenda that I wrote all year.
Yep. And I kept writing it with you as well.
Yep. So for me, then I guess I'll start it off. James Vowles. You look at what Williams did coming from P9 in the standings to, what was it, P5 or P6 this year? P5 this year.
Yes.
Yeah, P5.
They locked up P5 this year. I mean, just a turnaround. He made the call. He got Carlos there.
Yep. Took
Carlos. He's had Alex there consistently for a few years now. You take a team like that and you turn it around that quick.
Yeah.
Yes, we would love to give the flowers to Carlos, and Carlos did amazing, especially in the second half of the season. But I think you look at James Vowles and what he's done with that team, and it's just the award goes to nobody else, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, it's not really, in my opinion, much to debate. I mean, James Vowles just, man, that comeback is insane. Getting Carlos and the immediate turnaround, you can just see it like immediately. The way that James Vowles worked, his energy, the way he you see interviews, especially that one where he says break everything. This is the one time we got to break anything. And immediately I did not expect this immediate success, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
And obviously,
no,
Carlos
I'm not
is a
gonna
big
lie.
part of
I
it.
expected some success, but 2 podiums from Carlos
Yes.
and P5 in the championship was way more than I expected.
But it is insanely impressive. Just I can't say so. Like James Vowles is just so the way he has turned it around over there.
Yeah,
I love it, man, and I can't wait to see what they do next year.
So for me, I'll do my third place first. My third place was going to be the Sauber team principal, Jonathan Wheatley.
yeah,
Jonathan Wheatley, for what that team was last year, kudos to you, man, for getting that team up to even being competitive, let alone not finishing last. Because, I mean, everybody thought them moving to Audi, they're going to give up on this year. Everything's out of the window, and he finds a way to make that team get his first podium in I don't know how long.
yeah.
But for me, the winners, it's tied. Like, for me, it was James Vowles, hands down. But the way Lauren Mekies was able to, like, pretty much rescue Red Bull with Max, because I feel like Max is getting all the credit for the reason because he's the driver. Lauren Mekies had no business doing what he did with that team to keep it afloat either. Breaking all the rules that Red Bull normally does, transitioning to, no, we're going to upgrade as much as possible.
Yeah.
I'm an engineer. I know how this works. We can fast forward some of these upgrades and see how it goes. For those two, to me, are the team principals of the year. James Vowles, to me, for overall improvement for his team. But legitimately, Mekies saved a Formula One team along with
and it's
Max
crazy
Verstappen.
Considering you see what the Racing Bulls were doing when you mentioned Mekies. You see what the Racing Bulls were doing, and then they weren't doing bad.
Yeah.
And then the immediate success, like you said, coming to Red Bull, replacing Christian Horner in what everyone called the most toxic environment on the paddock.
Yeah.
Like he flipped that team a complete 180. There was the rumor circulating Max leaving. There was, I can't believe I didn't think about it, but I guess him only being there for that second half is what kept me from putting him as my number one. Like I said, I think James Vowles, when you looked at Williams at where they were compared to, but yeah, you got to give a shout out to honorable mention at least to Laurent Mekies because
There's no other principle.
I mean,
there's no other interim principal that I could see doing that. That's the thing too.
Even if Christian Horner doesn't get fired and stays, Max ends up fucking like P4 in the championship probably.
Yeah.
And not saying that it's because Max was incapable, it's because that car was going nowhere and the team was going nowhere to fix it. So yeah, I mean, think about what they threw at him. What they threw at him was fix our team, fix our car, and keep our best driver that we probably ever had in our team history. Yeah. And you probably got like 2 months to do that too, because the contract's got to be signed within 2 months. Yeah. And he managed to do it. One of our awards we had was the best comeback driver and the best comeback team. I think we can mention, at least for me, I think best comeback team is, just like I said, Williams.
Yeah.
That's and I think we agree across the board. I mean, P9 to P5.
Yeah.
2 podiums, Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon. Being a great team. I know there was rumors circulating that they didn't get along for a little bit there in the middle of the season. But those two, I mean, it seemed like they just fed off each other. The first half, Carlos was trying to get adjusted. Alex was like, don't worry, I got the team. And then when Carlos got his feet up underneath him, or in this sport, his wheels up underneath him, I mean, he was doing everything he could, and he put it on the podium twice.
Yeah.
So, comeback team, you got to give it to Williams. Comeback driver, the best comeback driver of the season. Who do y'all have?
This one's tough for me. I've thought about literally the entire grid. But I'm going with this guy because of one moment during the season and how long he's been waiting for it. I'm going to go with Nico Hulkenberg because of the podium in Silverstone. With how long that man has been waiting.
How long he's been in the sport.
Yeah, I've been in the sport, waited for it. And, throughout the year, it was a decent year. But that result was just at Silverstone, it was amazing to watch. And yeah, I really can't think of anybody else, but because being how many years in the sport and you finally get that moment, you finally get the podium. Yeah, I really can't think of anybody else for comeback driver.
For me, besides Max, I would say he's probably going to finish second on my list. I was honestly going to go with Nico up until today when I thought about someone else and I saw the F1 team principals vote. I'll go with Fernando Alonso. To be 40 points behind I know it's Lance Stroll, but to be 40 points behind Lance Stroll and just to come back and still find a way to beat him with Lance still driving normal car. There was not a ton of DNFs for Lance. Like, for him to overcome the amount of mess that happened to him to start the year leading up to pretty much Monaco, through Monaco, is insane for him to even be the lead driver, let alone I think he almost skunked him. He almost skunked him in qualifying this year too, Stroll. So
Yeah.
Fernando, that comeback was pretty amazing to me just because he had no business finishing ahead of his teammate. Kind of like Carlos. Carlos barely didn't get the job done, but Fernando was. So that's why I gave it to him.
Yeah. I think for me it's easy to say. I mean, I wanted to say Nico, and he put on a lot of great drives this season, but I think you got to give it to Max, in my opinion. For me, it's a little bit of a homer vote.
Yeah, we
but
can tell.
I mean, you look at, like I said, 104 points down to 2.
Yeah.
He finished with the most wins. He finished with the most poles. Like, this year was his. He just unfortunately went up against 2 cars that were a rocket ship.
Yeah.
And he started off terribly. I think there's always the if, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, if he has even a slightly better first half, it's his championship.
Yeah.
But the comeback in the second half, it's Max Verstappen easily for me.
But I think that goes to Nico, no?
Yeah,
'Cause,
they both. I think we
me
all
and
kind of had our own little
Yeah.
vote, but I think we could all agree on that. Nico
Yeah.
Hülkenberg
back.
gets the trophy. Comeback driver of the
We
year.
don't have his car.
Just, I mean,
Well
I think
deserved.
everybody. I think it was kind of unfortunate too that was his first podium and he gets a Lego trophy.
Gets a Lego trophy.
But hey, a podium's a podium in the sport, and you
Yeah.
take it even if you wait all those years like he did. We can kind of get into. We've been doing a lot of positive awards.
Yeah.
So before we get into like certain drives or certain moments, we'll stick with the driver. Who would y'all say is the unluckiest driver of the 2020 season?
I'm just going to put this award between Mark and I to get ahead of it.
I think for me, it's that guy right there. And you mentioned him, comeback driver of the year, but I think he doesn't have to have a comeback if he doesn't have just the unluckiest streak that he had, especially to start the
Yes.
season that he did.
Yeah.
Just whether it was in qualifying, whether it was in the drives, I mean in the races,
Yeah.
Fernando just had some terrible luck, and he's driving an Aston Martin
Yeah.
that should be on like Aston Martin should be great when you look at it on paper, and
Yeah.
they're just not.
Yeah, it's hard to go against Fernando. Obviously, my second or third place spot, I'm gonna have both Ferrari drivers, just because I don't have much to say about that. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say
my
about
first place
that.
vote is definitely gonna be Fernando. I mean, the man in Monaco literally said, "I am the unluckiest driver."
Yeah, I mean,
and it proved, like, man, this year he was very unlucky at multiple times. So yeah, besides Charles and Lewis, I'm gonna go Fernando for unluckiest driver.
yeah,
For me, Fernando wins, but 1A for me has to be Pierre Gasly. For the amount of times he qualified that Alpine in the top 10 to not even have more than 10 points this season. The amount of times I'm like, how does he get this car in the Q3 this many mounts in a week in a row?
Yeah.
And he still finds a way to not score because of the pace of the Alpine is just terrible. He's my 1B. Like, I'd say Fernando wins it for all the bad luck on track, but for also having to drive that cruddy of a car that Alpine was this year, Pierre Gasly gets my 1B award too. But Fernando for me, yeah, is going to get it.
yeah. It's got to be Fernando. Fernando's 2025 unluckiest driver, as voted by Around the Circuit.
Congratulations.
Podcast.
Congratulations, Fernando.
We'll kind of stick before we switch back over. We'll kind of stick with the bad luck, the bad performances. Who is y'all's biggest loser of 2025? We'll
going
separate it into
team or-
two. We'll
okay.
separate it into two. We'll do biggest loser when it comes to drivers and biggest loser when it comes to team. We'll start with team. I think Ivan would probably have something to say about it, but I think me and Mark will probably both agree that it's this team in red has got to be the biggest loser of 2025.
Yeah.
Mark,
Yeah.
Mark,
The floor is
the
yours.
floor is yours.
Yeah, I tried to avoid talking about Ferrari this last award, but I mean, I don't have a choice right now. Yeah, just a shit. You know, last year you were one race away. As much as this man brought it up, if I had $1 for every single time he brought it up, I'd probably be a millionaire. Yeah, we were one race win away, or just a race away from winning the constructors. And going into this year, you completely changed the car.
Going into the last year on this set of regulations, you completely changed the car.
You completely changed the car when you were one win away from the constructors championship. So yeah, obviously that didn't go well, being Ferrari. John Elko, I won't say
Okay.
anymore. I'm just here so I won't get fined. Yeah, if I say any more about John Elko, I will have the Italian police at my front door tomorrow. Anyways, yeah, very bad year, very bad. Lewis and Charles had their unlucky moments. Charles did absolutely everything he can to get something out of that Ferrari, maybe even a win. He got pole. What was? Where did he get that pole? I always forget. Oh my god, I forget. Whatever.
China.
Yeah. Wait, no.
No, that was
Pole.
Lewis that won in China.
Oh, yeah,
Charles
you're right.
Pole.
Charles Pole.
Yeah, Lewis
can't
get that win in China, and we were like, hey
The
man,
sprint,
the
yeah.
sprint. Yeah, we were like, hey man, hey,
Maybe there's something there.
maybe it's something. There wasn't anything there.
Yeah, there.
No, the car was shit.
That was about all you got.
Car was shit. Charles got the cars. Carlos. Fucking, I'm thinking about Carlos.
Ferrari is still too.
Yeah, I know. Not exactly. I'm happy for Carlos, but yeah, very bad. Like I said, Lewis had his unlucky moments, but at the same time, his performance in qualifyings weren't great. And even if they were, he would go into the race, get some places, and that was it. He would get back into decent points, and that was it. The
I
car.
think I saw Lewis had at the end of the season the most positions gained out of
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, it is because the qualifying sucked, and so he's forced on race day to make up
To
for
make
it.
up for it.
And so yeah, this is bad. I feel bad for Charles. I feel bad for both drivers because they deserve like so much better, and this fan base deserves so much better. It was just really bad. I don't have much else to say. If I keep rambling like this, I'm not gonna be able to. I'm gonna have a heart attack.
I'll say Ferrari should take it, but Alpine needs to get some award here.
In terms of pure shit, Alpine takes the cake,
Yeah.
man.
But I think for me, when I say biggest loser, to me it's we expected Alpine to
Yeah.
be shit. They're running a Renault engine that's been unreliable and just not fast.
Thanks, Christian.
You expect this, You expected Alpine to be bad, and Pierre still managed to put it in Q3 a few times. You did not expect Ferrari to be this bad.
Okay, we get it. I've went on.
The only thing I will say is, because I told y'all about this before the show, the stat I saw that just sunk another dagger into my heart for this season was that 3 years ago, when McLaren was having Lando Norris finish 18th and 17th to start the season off, Alpine finished ahead of McLaren that year. 3 years later, McLaren is world champions, and Alpine is 811 points behind that same team that they just beat 3 years ago. This team has taken so many. If there's any team that the regulations have snake bitten them, Alpine probably has more team principals during this genre than some teams have had drivers. Like, it's been exactly. I would say we need to share this trophy because this is right here. This is a Ferrari award for this year as a collective for this regulations. No team has done more to damage a brand in itself than Alpine has.
I can agree with that.
We could share.
Exactly.
Who is y'all's biggest loser when it comes to individual driver?
Now this one is very tough.
Yeah.
But I think, in my opinion, I'm going with Oscar Piastri. If you're going, like you said, based on expectation, it's gonna be Oscar. Oscar had hold on. Yeah, just put that back there. Not a good reward this time.
Sorry,
Finally.
Oscar.
Sorry, Oscar. Yeah, just was such a dominant start. And then going into the second half of the season, it like I said before, starting
Monza.
in Baku too, especially.
I think it all started the swap in Monza, for being honest.
Monza, then Baku happens, and then the performance just isn't there. I have no idea what happened, whether it was mentality, whether it was the car. I don't know. Sabotage. It was an inside job. I don't know. He had that moment in Qatar where he won the sprint. Then looked like he could win the race, and then McLaren had another fumble because of papaya rules. And that was just really just a dagger going in further for Oscar towards that end of the year. And so, yeah, I mean, whether it was all Oscar's fault, probably not. But he did end the season very poorly in that second half. So I feel like the loser of the year definitely has to go to Oscar.
The biggest loser. If you win a race, I can't give it to Oscar. I'll give it to someone that maybe a lot of people haven't talked about. I'll give it to Esteban Ocon. For the year he's had this year, I mean, you're expected to move to a new team. You've gotten away from your rival. You're in a better car easily, you can tell from the first start of the year. To get beat by a rookie, and not just beat by a rookie, like, pretty much he got hands, man. Like, he pretty much slapped you upside the face multiple times this year. Hands. Exactly. Like, for me, Ocon, this move this year, he's taken a step back in the way I think fans view him, and honestly, the way the paddock views him a little bit as well. I mean, think about this. 3 years ago, he was the George Russell of the paddock. He was a Mercedes junior driver that anytime a big seat opens up, watch out, Ocon can get it. And now he is nowhere in those murmurings anymore. He is nowhere in those rumors anymore. Ollie Behrman is now the guy that's now everybody's looking at, once a good seat opens up, Behrman's going to that team. And now I don't know where Ocon goes from here. If he doesn't have a consistent 2026, he may just be a middle of the pack or a back of the grid driver for the rest of his career. And that's something I would not have expected from him. Because to be honest, even though I'm a Gasly fan, I was like, oh man, Ocon going to Haas, he's going to do so good. He's going to probably try to get a podium or something this year. And it just hasn't worked out for him so far. And with the direction that Haas is moving in with Toyota, they're only going to get more resources. So the results should have been a lot better for Ocon than this year. So to me, he's the driver that's been the most inconsistent to me, the most bad luck, the most everything. He's just been, kind of there.
Yeah. For me, I was going along the rookie route. I guess technically he's a rookie. For me, it was Franco Colapinto. Franco Colapinto had a few drives at the end of the season with Williams, and some were good, some not so good, but there was still potential.
Yeah.
He ends up not starting with the team. They gave it to Jack Doohan. Jack Doohan lasted eight? I think maybe 7, 8 races.
Yeah, I think he got through Miami.
No.
I think he got through. There was all the rumors about the six race contract. Ended up going a little bit past that. Franco Colapinto comes in and does nothing with the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes, Alpine has a terrible car. Yes, Alpine is slow. But we mentioned it. Pierre Gasly had Q3 appearances. He dragged that car when he could to try to do something. Even if it was just like qualifying. Franco Colapinto did nothing with his opportunities. I'll give it to him. He didn't really crash out a lot.
Yeah.
But he did nothing with the opportunity. And essentially, when you listen to what Flavio said at the end of the year, the only reason Franco has a seat right now is because they had nobody else. So maybe you could take advantage of that and do something next year with the new regs and the new engines, and maybe. But when you look at this season as a whole, where you were gifted a second chance to do something and you took that opportunity and did diddly squat but drive at the back of the pack every race, I think for me that's the biggest loser of the year.
I would kind of have to agree with you because I just had to look it up to confirm it. Gasly scored a majority of his points after Colapinto showed up. So you can't say that the car was better before Colapinto got there. No, that car was bad, just as bad afterwards, and Gasly was finding a way to get points. So I will give you that on that.
Yeah, so that's where I sit. I do kind of like Mark's, when you look at Oscar, but to me, it's hard to dub. Yes, he had his performances, but it's hard to dub Oscar the biggest loser when you look at how his team just did not help him much.
Yeah,
I think it's
whether the favoritism, you agree with the favoritism or not, there was something there that obviously Lando is their number one driver, whether they have two number ones or not, and it
doesn't matter. You can have a number one driver. Just don't say you have two number ones.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think it mainly goes to Franco. There's a little bit to Oscar, but I think it's mainly Franco's.
Yeah, so we'll put it on the Alpine car because, hey,
it'll do that. It'll do that to you. That Alpine car will do that to you, buddy.
Let's see. Do we want to? Yeah, let's do it. We're talking about these rookies. We're talking about the opportunities they had. How some of them are beating their teammates. Rookie of the year. Oof. Now we had this, and this has been brought up on social media a lot. This has been brought up amongst ourselves a lot. We talked about it at the midseason like award show we did. I think we all kind of agreed on who we thought was rookie of the year at midseason.
Yeah.
There were some performances in the second half that might have, teeter-tottered it another way. Ivan, who's your rookie of the year?
Rookie of the year for me, despite the end of the season not being as loud for him, is still Isaac Hadjar. For the expectations that he had, for the first race where everybody saw him just emotionally bawling his eyes out because he crashed out of his first race, to be able to do that and get a podium later on in the year. I think him and Antonelli were the only two rookies to get podiums this year, right? Yeah. So only two rookies to get a podium this year. Second half of the year, I know didn't go his way. I still got to give it to him just because. Also, we talked about this earlier. I don't think it's talked about enough how there was a little bit of a step back taken by Racing Bulls after Mekis left.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that a lot of people have factored in. They're like, well, he lost literally his team principal. He's still part of the Red Bull family, but still, when you lose your team principal, stuff's going to change for you.
Yeah, and that's not to say that they were doing a bad job over there at Racing Bulls, but a change is a change, whether it's for the better or for the worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it was that noticeable, but some weekends you could see, man, maybe that wouldn't have happened under Mekis, just something along those lines. But yeah, for me, it's Hadjar still. Second place for me, just to give a second place, probably would be honestly Behrman to me for second place. I know Antonelli's probably going to get the second place votes or first place votes more than anybody else, but I got to factor in what kind of car they were in too. The fact that a Hadjar and Behrman were driving in a Haas and a Racing Bulls car compared to Kimi in a Mercedes car that legit won races this year. I mean, I give them two a lot more credit. Not to say Kimi doesn't deserve any, but still, when you're in a car that's a Mercedes, expectations rise higher than the other two.
No, I think I have to agree. Isaac Hadjar is the rookie of the year for me. Like you said, second half wasn't as loud. Second half wasn't as prominent as the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, but it started off with the podium in Zandvoort.
Yeah.
And then it kind of died down from there, but he was still putting in the points, the car in the points consistently. He was still having decent drives. In what he's driving, he was still having decent drives. Yes, Behrman had some really good drives. I mean, you look at Mexico. He got that P4, was this close from the podium.
Yeah.
Could have had it, maybe not, who knows. And then you look at Gabby, what he did in a Sauber this year. I think you keep Gabby out of the votes. Yes, he had some good performances, but he had a lot of rookie mistakes too. When you look at the other rookies, I think he made more rookie mistakes than the rest. Not saying he did bad this year, because he still did really good considering he's driving a fucking kick Sauber car. I'm excited to see what he does with Audi.
Yeah.
I think Gabby is here to stay, and he's not going anywhere. I think Isaac is it. Kimi is going to be my number two. As much as I would love to give it to, like I said, Ollie or what's his name? Gabby? Sorry.
Yeah.
Spaced out there for a second.
No, you're
as much
good.
as I would love to give it to Ollie or Gabby, Kimi yes, he was in a fast car. Yes, he was on a top team. But when you look at that brief moment in the middle of the season where he had that mental lapse where he lost a lot of confidence. He bounced back from that and was still putting the car on the podium. He had 3 podiums this year?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a rookie, man. Like, even George didn't win that many races. Yes, the car won some races, but when you look at who his teammate is and how he's performing, number 2 is close. A very close second to Isaac is Kimi for me.
I really don't have much to add. I mean, Ivan's list was perfect for mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Isaac is clear cut the number 1. His performances the entire year was so good. He had the longest streak of getting out of Q1 or was in Q3 for the longest time. I forget how it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
He definitely led all the rookies in Q3 appearances. I think he was the most consistent driver behind Max in Q3 appearances this year, I think.
Yeah, so it's for me, it's obviously Isaac Hadjar. Second place for me is, I don't know, it could be Kimi or Ollie. Obviously, I'm an Ollie guy, but I mean, you look at it's the same thing. You look at the performances in each car. Isaac and Ollie were doing great things in cars that were significantly worse than a Mercedes. So, like these guys said, there's nothing against Kimi. Kimi has been doing great for a rookie, but you look at the other guys, it's hard to put Kimi ahead.
And I'll say this for Junior doesn't have to say this. He is not punishing him for the incident at the Red Bull ring. I'm just letting you know right now. We all just agree on that the way it is.
Yeah, and
I'm getting ahead of it before people do.
You look at the rumors and how good Mercedes is supposed to be next year. If they are as good as everybody thinks they're going to be, Kimi will win races, not just a race. He will win races next year.
Yeah.
And that's just a testament to how good he was. And I think when you look at the rookies who started in lower teams, I mean, Isaac earned a promotion this year, essentially, and he will be racing with Max next year. So it's either going to be a good thing or a bad thing for him, depending on how that second seat treats him. But outside of drivers and teams, we kind of did all those awards. We did have the biggest, and this is the award we did in the mid-season. I was contemplating if we should bring it back, but Ivan mentioned it, and I feel like he's got somebody he really wants to give this to. We had Donkey of the Year. That goes to not just a driver. It could go to a team principal, an engineer, a broadcaster if we want. Like, it could go to anybody in the sport.
A president of a governing body.
I mean,
it could go to multiple.
It could be anybody. I will start it off.
Your mother.
And I think it's going to be the same person that I said. You know what? I said it was Christian Horner at the midseason. I remember that now.
That's what I told you. There's multiple people in the running.
It was Christian
now.
Horner for me at the midseason. He got fired. Hey, guess what? You earned it in the middle of the season, but I think when you look at consistently over the whole season, it's got to be Adami. There's just nobody else that just proved themselves to be
the words right out of my mouth.
Incapable of doing their job to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
More than him.
And listen, I'm tired of hearing this debate between Lewis Hamilton fans and regular F1 fans about, it's Adami, it's Lewis. Can we agree that Adami is shit? Lewis has been inconsistent, but Adami has been really shit. Shit. Very shit.
I think when you're at the end of the season and you are still having communication issues,
there's something wrong.
Yes, moving to a new team takes adjustments. Yes, Lewis did not have his best year when you look at qualifying performances and everything like that.
Carlos has 2 podiums in his first year with Williams.
Like I said,
one for each driver.
It's a little, Lewis has been inconsistent to say the least. But there are times where Lewis could have been doing a lot better, and he got no help from his team.
Yes.
Yep.
Specifically his engineer. So I know Mark agrees with me. Ivan?
For me, I've got 2 nominees I would like to put out there. One from the same team. Like we said, I think Christian Horner won it with a clean sweep at the mid-season awards.
Yeah.
For me, one of them is going to be Helmut Marko. You survived the Civil War. You won the war. And then you had to incite a riot on an 18-year-old driver because you thought he didn't let your guy by, or because you thought he let somebody by in a fight for a championship. That is El Burro material right there. Second off, Mohammed Ben Selim, or how do you pronounce his last name?
I don't know how to pronounce it. So
MBS, that's what I'm going to say. Brother, you to run an election to make it unopposed, man, there's some people that are looking down. Well, I should say looking up at you right now, wondering what the heck you're doing over there. But still, I think, those 2 for me are easily the burros of the season for me, for 2 totally different reasons. I mean, Helmut Marko had his job done. He beat Christian Horner. He won the war.
Yeah.
All he had to do was
keep his mouth shut.
Not be.
And I said it in an early episode, and people loved it. Helmut Marko is like that old grandpa that you just don't want to put in front of a camera.
Exactly.
And he put himself in front of a camera and a microphone every week, and now he's gone.
All he had to do was come out in front of the camera and say, I think Max is going to win this championship. Max is the best driver. That's all you had to do and say that for 8 straight weeks.
And there's a lot of Red Bull fans that I've seen online that are sympathetic to him leaving the sport, or at least leaving the team, because he did bring us drivers like Max and Carlos. And, all these drivers we saw come through the Red Bull.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big reason
program.
Vettel was there, too, to begin with.
And so you tip your cap to him there, but at the end of the day, hey, go enjoy retirement.
Yes,
and
please.
Let's see where Red Bull goes from there. We'll kind of go through these last couple of these. I had best drive, and I had clutch performance. Those are kind of the same thing to me. If you look at it, you already know where I'm going with this. Max Verstappen, Brazil.
Yeah.
The guy is an animal at Interlagos. I mean, he did it in 2016. He did it last year, and he turned around and did it again this year. Pit lane to P3. There was something about that performance specifically that continued the race mentally for his fans and him and the team for the championship. That drug it to the last. When you looked at him starting at pit lane, you were like, man, this could be it. And he finishes on podium. I mean, you just that does things for confidence for everyone, from him in the car to the people on the pit wall to the engineers back at Milton Keynes. You know what I mean? Like that does something for a team. And for me, that's what kept them going to the very last race and made it even close. Yeah. Like that performance right there is just, those are ones that we'll talk about for a long time.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that. And for me, I do have Max in Brazil. He does it again in Brazil.
There's something about Interlagos that he loves. I hate it, but he loves it.
Absolutely insane. I know you hate it. We've seen firsthand. Yeah, absolutely insane. If I had to choose an honorary or second place, I'm going to go Ollie Behrman in Mexico with the P4.
Yeah, you can't argue that.
That one was really good. I'm sure there's some other ones that I'm forgetting right now, but I'll definitely, as a second place, I'll go with Ollie Behrman. Getting that P4, almost a podium. But yeah, best result for Haas since Grosjean in, I think it was 2018-17. Yeah. So yeah, really good moment there. But yeah, Max absolutely takes it.
I think before we get into Ivan's, if we're mentioning like an honorable mention, for me, it would be Nico Silverstone.
Yeah.
In a race that was chaotic with the rain and everything like that, Nico put a Sauber on the podium.
Yep.
For me, I'll just name 3 different drives. Max is going to be the winner for me. Max is driving Brazil to keep a championship alive. Easily, that had the most stakes for him from the other drives. But the other 2 drives I did want to mention were going to be close second, actually, to Max for me. Carlos Sainz at Qatar. That Williams in Qatar, of all places, has no business being on the podium. No business at all being on the podium.
That was like, I was like, do I go that way or do I go Hulk? I mean, I had to go Hulk. I mean, it's...
I see. I understand why you'd go that way, too. And then the other one I would say that's going to be probably forgotten because of what happened in that race between the drivers that actually ended up winning the Constructors' Championship would be George Russell in Canada. George Russell in Canada's drive, I have not heard a word about since it happened. And that man drove that race from start to finish, got pole again in Canada for the second year, and found a way to win it this year after not winning it last year.
And not to knock on him, but I think a lot of George's performances get hidden behind his consistency.
Yes.
And the fact that a lot of his wins in podiums, or I say a lot, a good chunk of his wins in podiums come from the luck of something bad happening in front of him. I think his good performances, and this is coming from me, I think a lot of his good performances get overlooked because of the luck and the overall consistency that he has of being right there, P4, P5, ready to take advantage of something. You know,
This isn't nothing against George, but like when George wins a race, something happened in that race. And that's not just to say, hey, George gets lucky, but when George wins a race, something normally happens. Sometimes it's not even George's fault.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
When George wins, something happens in that race. That's just the way it happens to fall. So I understand what you're saying completely.
Yeah, and that's all it is for me, is that, like I said, it gets overlooked in the luck that he gets sometimes. And that's just a big part of this sport, is sometimes you just need the luck and you get it. Yeah. With safety cars or anything like that, you know, a random puncture for the person in front of you, engine failures. I mean, we know all too well how much luck can play a factor into the sport.
Yes.
Yep. Outside of that, we had a few fun awards that we wanted to go. We had best helmet, special helmet, and best special livery. I'm going to combine those 2 together and say, for me, it was Japan. Red Bull, the White Bull in Japan with the matching helmet that Max wore. Second favorite helmet would probably be his Orange Army helmet, the blue and the orange that he rocks throughout those races, Austria, Zandvoort, stuff like that. Those are my favorites, but it's still my background. The White Bull livery, just chef's kiss.
I hate to do it, but I gotta agree with Junior, man. That white Red Bull is sexy. It is sexy.
And he just had an amazing drive in that car too. Something about that.
Absolutely beautiful. If I had to choose a different livery, I'm gonna go with the Ferrari one. Don't judge me. With another one, I'm gonna go with the Williams. Any one of the special liveries.
They
'Cause
had
all
a
of them were
few,
great.
and they were actually all
But
really
the
good.
Vegas one, I really like. That one stuck out with me.
Yeah,
If I'm gonna go helmet, I'm gonna go with Lewis's helmet in Vegas. That one was really cool.
the
I like
sparkle.
that one. And for a normal helmet, I'm gonna go with Charles. I don't know why. There's something about Charles' regular helmet
Okay.
that I really like.
I really liked Carlos's regular helmet.
Yeah.
Carlos's helmet for the regular helmet for the season
Rainbow.
was
Rainbow unicorn.
oh the unicorn.
Yeah,
Hey, yeah,
yeah.
slap the sparkles on there and let's roll.
Sparkles, let's go.
Ivan.
For me, the livery, red, black, and white are my favorite colors. I'll have to give the devil its due again. That for Red Bull in Japan is something else.
I almost bought this model too for that car.
should've.
And then
Should've.
for helmet, specifically the all sparkles helmet from Carlos Sainz in the last race of the year.
That one was nice.
That last helmet he had
That
at the end of the
one was
year,
nice.
where I was literally asking, I said, "Dude, he already got a podium with that. Just go full out with the sparkles theme."
And he
get
did it.
And
And
he
it-
did it
it
for the
looked
last race
so
of the year.
good.
That last sparkles helmet for me is the helmet of the year for me.
I
So
like that.
hands down, those two are the ones that run away with me. Oh, special shout out to I love when McLaren does the all chrome at Silverstone.
Okay.
Doing the chrome at Silverstone thing is a really
Yeah.
good tradition that they have going. I feel like they should keep that up. It always is a big shout out to the old Vodafone days when Lewis was with the team at McLaren.
Yeah.
So I like that, but nothing's going to beat that white and red Red Bull. When you see that come out, you know they're at some place of significance of
Yeah.
a lot of for Red Bull, and who knows, maybe they may bring it back again next year for more than one race.
I would love it.
There's
I would
rumors I
love
keep
it.
seeing that Red Bull may actually change up the livery for once
Hey,
in 20 years.
Ford's gonna have a say this year, so we'll see.
It's not that big Ford sticker on him.
We'll wrap it up with our last fun award that we had. It was the Incident Award. It's nothing but an incident on the race.
We haven't done radio message.
Oh, we did have
Oh,
radio message. Did we want to do radio message real quick
We can
before we do
radio message.
incident?
I already know mine.
Okay.
Must be the water.
That was mine. So
Must be the water, hands down. Has to
I
get
know
the
there was an
award.
inside joke behind it. I guess Charles said with him and his engineer, but
Yeah.
in the rain, in the moment,
First race,
you hear
immediate
them
banger.
say, "It my seat is full of water," and he's like, "Oh yeah, it must be the water."
Must
And
be
you're
the
like, everybody's like, "What the fuck is going on?" No shit, it's the water.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think that one stuck all year.
I'm not
There
gonna
were some
say it.
fun ones.
That one, and then if you speak to me, I would turn off the radio for the rest
Oh,
of
I
the
was gonna
race.
say any Alonso message throughout the
Yes.
year was probably up there. I mean, you pick any of his. So we'll
If we're gonna do also shout outs, why don't you have a cup of tea while you're at it?
Yeah.
It's by Lewis to Ferrari this year.
Yeah.
Also,
Well,
is another one.
there was a lot
where-
of anger on those radios between
Yeah.
Lewis and Adami. So
Hey, that one came from a hate. I could feel it.
Yeah.
You could hear the yelling come out of Lewis's voice. I had never heard that man yell before. So yeah, hands down, Ferrari and Fernando still together forever till the end. It looks
yeah.
like.
And so, like I said, the incident award, that'll be our last one. We'll wrap it up. So we don't carry on too long. Go ahead and give me that because while I got it here. Although it wasn't necessarily an incident, it's going down as the incident of 2025.
the most unanimous award we had discussing pre-show.
Do I need to say it really? I mean, it's
If
one
you've
of the
seen
moments that could have possibly cost him the championship. Is one of the moments that we are still talking about over a half a season later. It's one of the moments we'll probably talk about again when we go into Spain next year. Max is as much as praise as I gave him for growing as a driver and as a person and like growing amongst F1 fan base as a whole, not so much Red Bull and his own fans. That one incident could have set him back so much farther if it would have been even uglier. The rage came out. As somebody who rages out every now and then, I can't blame him. We've talked about it. We've mentioned it a few times. We mentioned it in the last award show.
Fire in his eyes.
The fire in his eyes. Hey, you know what? And as he said, yeah, don't give me that stupid look. Of course you're going to bring that up. But that's the incident. I think that was like the most unanimous award we've had.
I think that's unanimous. If I had to go another one, I think, maybe the double Haas when they both
Oh,
spun.
when they both spun,
Yeah.
that's just like them aura farming in the middle of the race. Just
little incident.
yeah, the little incident, but
Lando crashing out of Canada, just a little incident.
just a little incident.
Just a little
There's so many we can name. But
I was gonna
think-
say Lando and Oscar in Canada, and then Kimmy at Red Bull Ring, which I've already mentioned one time. But that's
honestly
another-
up at the top of my list.
Kimmy
but
and Charles at Zandvoort.
Yeah,
I mean, we all had a Kimmy moment apparently.
right.
Shout out Kimmy though, we love you, kid.
Love you, Kimmy.
Yeah, it was a fun season. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, a lot to wrap up. I mean, like I said, it was eventful for us starting the show. All the people who joined us along the way, we appreciate it. Don't go anywhere. We are going to be back next year, and as y'all know, it's a very short off season for F1.
Yes.
We have livery announcements coming all next month, going into February. I think all but like 3 teams have already announced their dates. The soonest starts, I think, January 15th.
Yep.
And the latest is as of now, the latest is February 8th. That's when Cadillac's announcing theirs at the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Hey, America. Fuck yeah. So shout out the 2025 F1 season. Shout out all of you that hung around and supported us this year. Like I said, don't go anywhere. We're not going anywhere. There's going to be more content to come. We'll probably be doing live stream watch-alongs for the races just to get the community more involved, get the fans more involved. We'll be discussing it along the way. And, yeah, like I said, stay tapped into all of the socials. The new YouTube will be coming out soon, so keep an eye out for that. We'll be pushing out any and all changes via our socials, whether it's on Twitter or X, if you call it that now, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Follow us all there. The link tree is in the description. You'll find all the links there, and you'll find the link to the main Apollo page where we were always going to be supporting our brothers here and everything they do along the podcast. So tap in with them, talk mess about how Around the Circuit is the fantasy football champions, and follow us if you don't follow us. Subscribe if you don't subscribe. Like this video.
Do you have any
We'll
other
see you on
opinions?
2026. Happy New Year. Be prepared because we're going to come in with the new liveries and early season testing and ready to rock and roll for the new season. We love y'all. Thanks for following. Thanks for liking, subscribing, all that. We'll see y'all next year.
Happy New Year.
Happy
New Year, everybody.
We're out of here. Peace.